Welcome to Scotland in May. Look at it. Cape Wrath, you're not beating us.
Say goodbye to the bog.
This is brutal. Well, good morning from the petrol station at Kinlochewe. We're just waiting for them to open. It's a cafe as well, so we're going to get a bacon butty here. The opening in about 10 minutes time. So the campsite is literally over this wall here in Kinlochewe. Good site as you'd expect from a caravan and camping club one. Nice hot showers, toilets, drying room. Only got 2 plug sockets in the drying room though, so didn't get a chance to charge anything up because there was always a plug in it with someone else charging something up. But yeah, good night's sleep. Quite chilly last night. Temperatures did drop quite a bit. Fully loaded this morning. We've now got 4.5 kilos of food in our rucksacks because we picked up our resupply box here as well, which is what I mentioned last night. So the rucksacks are feeling pretty heavy. I think we've got a 17-mile day today. We're going to head towards Shenavall, I think that's how you pronounce it, and camp somewhere around there, and then tomorrow head on into Ullapool. So right, quick bacon butty and then we'll get going. Welcome to day 9 of the Cape Wrath Trail. Right, cup of coffee and a bacon and egg butty later. We're finally on our way. Just gone 9 o'clock, so a bit of a late start this morning. Alright, let's get going. So this is the village store that I came in yesterday and got our parcel. So there's the post office where you'll get your resupply parcel. Plenty of beer, chocolates, crisps, various bits and bobs. We've also got cans of gas, Adventure Foods. Fill your boots in here. Got everything you need. Right, we don't need any more. We're carried enough. Right, we'll get going. We both just thought we'd pop in the village store and say thank you to the lady that gave us the food parcels last night. Really helpful, great service. Definitely recommend sending your food parcels there. They've said that they'll hang on to them for up to a month, and if there's a return address on them, they will post them back. But yeah, nice little shop, really helpful, really friendly. And we bought some cake while we were there as well. So make that 4.5 kilos plus a cake heavier this morning. Right, now we're on our way. Right, mileage update. We're 6 miles from camp and we're now back in the mountains. Just come up and over this 4x4 track all the way along, across the river, and then we've come up and now we're descending. I think we're going to hug the side of this fell or mountain, follow it round. Sun's come out, sunglasses on, hoodie off, it's starting to get warm, but it is forecast to rain about 2 o'clock today, so hopefully it doesn't, but we'll see. At the moment it's sunny and warm. Loch Fada in the distance. I think that's how you say it. So in a moment we're going to carry on along this path, and then we turn right and we're going to head up here and over the Beelach. Just having a bit of a pit stop break. We are 7.5 miles in. So I've just made myself a brew. Just going to have a mug shot. My brew's there. Darren's being a bit healthier than me. He's on a Radix apple and cinnamon. Sounds nice. Some water. Quite easy walking this morning, following a well-defined path. Yeah, not a bad place to stop. See the mountains behind me. Right, get this eaten and then get going again. Right, so we've carried on a bit more. We've got to this marker cairn here, which is telling us to turn right. And up there, GPS is telling us to turn right as well. Yeah. So we'll say goodbye to Loch Fada, which is behind us. I've seen people camping here, but the loch is quite a way down from the path. And that's my calorie count telling me to eat. A bit late now, we've already eaten. Right, let's get up here. The top, not too bad. It's pathed halfway up, and then there's little marker cairns to follow. Just added my contribution to it. Right, we're heading that way and then down. But yeah, that wasn't too bad actually. Oh, nice cool breeze. Right, let's get down. Little lizard in the grass just there. Make him out. You doing the Cape Wrath, pal? There he goes. So we've come down from the cairn up there, pretty pathless. Then we come across this gorge that we now need to cross. So we're reckoning up here, so we don't have to lose as much height. If we went that way, we'd drop down, lose a lot of height, then come back up. The GPS is telling us as well to go over here. Look at that. It literally just sprung on us. We could hear it, and then next minute we could see it. Alright, let's get across and keep heading that way. Look at this. If this was in Spate, I wouldn't be able to walk where I'm walking. Oh, the best plunge pool ever. Look at that. That'd be amazing in there. If we only had time. Fantastic. Little marker cairn there behind me, which we spotted on the other side. Yeah, this would be a different place if it was in full force. Definitely won't be able to walk where I'm walking. What an amazing place though. Right, let's go up the banking and carry on. So the waterfall's up there, we've dropped down, bushwhacked for a while, and then we've picked up this path. I'm just going to follow it all the way down, all the way through that glen. Right, let's keep going. We've got approximately 7 miles to go. Another little river crossing. Little marker cairn on the opposite side. Another one that we just have to paddle across. That is Lochan. I think that's how you say it. We're going to walk past that in a moment. Looking up there. Still see snow up there. Slabs of rock coming down here. Right, let's paddle across this. Easy. They're very different if it was in spate. And I've not even got waterproof socks on today, I've just got normal socks on. My feet are bone dry. Right, get past this lock. I think we're about 5 miles still from camp. So we've arrived at camp. Just got the tents up. I'm there. Darren's there. She's gone for some water. And we're right on the junction. So if you go left and past the trees there, and keep going for about another 2 or 3 miles, you eventually come to Shenavall bothy. But in the morning, if you can see the path there, we're going to follow that path up and that'll take us out the glen. So not a bad spot. This is where we planned to camp, but if it was really bad weather we were going to carry on to the bothy. But like I say, it's about 2 or 3 miles further on, and then you've got to sort of come back on yourself further up to pick that path up. So we're more than happy to stay tonight. Not a bad place. Some dwellings here, one there, one over there that I walked past before, so something's been here at some point. Still got snow on the tops of the mountains, and it has gone quite chilly now that we've stopped hiking, so we're just letting the tents dry out a little bit because they were damp this morning when we packed them away. So campsite last night and in the wilds tonight. Right, let it dry out a little bit more. I'm going to go and get some water and then get in the tent, get out the hiking gear and get in some warmer gear. Right, all sorted, got the warmer gear on, so feeling a bit warmer. I think it's going to be quite chilly tonight, and if it is, I'm going to deploy my secret weapon. I bought one hand warmer with me. So that's going to be coming in the sleeping bag tonight. I'll just show you my view. So that's my view this evening, which isn't too shabby. Very different from the campsite I was on last night. So another good day on the trail. Quite an easy, simple day today. We have done, stats wise, we have done 15.33 mile. At the start of the day, I think I said it was 17 mile, just over 17 mile, and that's because I'd plotted from Kinlochewe to Shenavall bothy, which is about 2.5 miles further on. So we've only actually done 15.33 today, and we have done 2,224 feet of ascent and 1,919 feet of descent, and I have burnt 2,497 calories today. So quite a simple, easy day. We had a bit of a late start. We didn't actually get going until probably after 9:30. We left the campsite about 20 past 8. We went to the petrol station, which is also a cafe. They open at 8:30, so we were first in. We got a bacon and egg butty and a nice cup of coffee, so that was quite nice to have. We left there, we then walked past the village store, which is the post office, and we ended up going in there. Darren wanted to say thank you to the lady and just have a look around basically at what they had. We had a bit of a conversation with her, really nice person. They're quite happy to take parcels in for Cape Wrath people. I did a bit of filming around the store. She was happy for me to do that, at what they've got and everything. So yeah, they've got pretty much everything that you need. If you want to top your stuff up, or if you're staying at the campsite and you just want to nip for a bottle of beer or something like that. So we left there, got walking, very easy walking, 4x4 track for quite a few miles, and then you cross over a bridge, gets to more like a quad bike track, and then it gets to a single track, and then you see Loch Fada. We stopped for a bit there, had something to eat, and then we carried on, got to the little cairn, turned right, followed it up and over the Beelach, which was quite simple. Coming down the other side, there was no path, so you had to sort of bushwhack for a bit and dodge the bog and everything. And then we got to that, what we thought was going to be a stream, but it actually turned out to be quite a nice little gorge, with the waterfall coming over it and everything. Dropped down the other side, picked up the path, quite an easy path to follow, and then eventually at the bottom we turned left and we went past Lochan, I think that's how you say it, and then we just followed that path all the way for quite a few miles, and then we eventually got here. We got here for about 5:30. So yeah, it was quite an easy simple day today. Not as much elevation, quite easy walking. Navigation was pretty simple. It was sunny for most of the day, and then the sun sort of went, and then it's gone grey and cloudy, and it's gone a bit cooler now. So yeah, quite a nice, easy, simple day. So right, let's do some map time. Okay, map time. So we left the campsite at Kinlochewe, and we actually went to the petrol station, and that doubles as a cafe. So we actually had a nice bacon and egg sandwich this morning and a cup of coffee. So we left there. They don't open till 8:30, so it was about 9 o'clock when we left, and then we followed the road down, and we ended up calling in the post office again, which is the corner shop as well. So we went in there and we was chatting to the owner. That was really, really nice. Bought some cake, and then we finally got going, and it was probably about 9:30 before we actually got walking and left Kinlochewe. You follow the main road out, and then you turn left, and you follow the road up. It's not an official road, it's just like a tarmac track. You follow it up, you go past a few houses, a few properties, and then you go through a gate, and then you come on a 4x4 track, and you just basically follow that 4x4 track all the way up with the river on your right hand side. Very easy walking. Keep going, slight elevation all the time, but really, really, really easy walking. And if you turn round, you can see the mountains that we came over the day before. We got to about here, and we were in mid-conversation, and we actually went wrong, and we carried on along this track here, and we got probably about 100 yards, and then we realised we'd gone wrong, so we actually turned around, came back, and we picked up the 4x4 track here, which started gaining height, and it went up a bit, but very easy walking again. And then you just follow it along, it drops down to a bridge, you cross over the bridge, and then you just follow it again on the other side all the way up, and then keep on going, and then it gets very narrow. It goes from a 4x4 track to just a trail path, and you follow it all the way along, and you get to about here, and then you get your views of Lochan Fada, which is the massive Lochan over here. And it was around about here that we actually stopped, and we had something to eat. So we stopped there for a while, and then we continued on. And then we knew that we had to turn right, and you actually come to a cairn
there's a cairn there that's marking it, telling you to go up. So we followed it up, and on the map here it's got very small dots which indicates that there's no path, but there was actually a path there. So you follow it all the way up, and then eventually about 2/3 of the way up the path runs out, and then you get little marker cairns. So we just followed the marker cairns, and then eventually we got to the top, and you can actually see this little tarn or Lochan as they're called in Scotland. And then this bit, the other side, we drop down and there is no path, and you just kind of bushwhacking all the way down and making your own way sort of down. And then we knew that we were going to cross a river, but when we got to it, it was kind of like a small gorge, and it was absolutely stunning, it was. So we made our way down, we crossed over that, and then we bushwhacked all the way along, and then eventually we picked up another path, and then we just kept on going, followed that path all the way along, and then it continues here, and then you just follow it all the way down, keep on going. It's quite a well defined path. You follow it down, all the way down, and then you get to about here, and that's when you can see Loch Ned, or Need, I think it's pronounced. But on the map it's very small dots again, so it indicates that there's no path, but there is quite a clear path there. So we just kept on going, and then we had a little river crossing, which I did film about there, and again it was very, very shallow, and I've not worn waterproof socks today, and I was able to just balance across on stones and stuff and get across. We stopped again about here for about 10 minutes. I think Darren filled his water bottle up, and then we just carried on and on and on. Lovely scenery of the mountains either side. On this side it was absolutely stunning, and then we carried on, and this went on for quite a long time. We was on this for quite a few miles. Kept on going, easy walking again, just following the river all the way up, and then we got to about here, and I recognised these trees here, and then we sort of stopped and we checked where we were, and we could see the path here going up, and we thought, we're at camp, we're here. So that's where we are now, which is where I've marked on the map. So in the morning what we've got to do is follow the path that's opposite us and take that path up. If you carry on and follow the river to the left for a couple more miles, eventually you'll get to Shenavall bothy. But then what you've got to do in the morning is come back on yourself again and then follow it, and then you pick up this path here. But that's where we are at the minute, and in the morning we're just going to go this way and make our way into Ullapool. So the end of another great day on the Cape Wrath Trail. So I'm going to have some tea. I am on, what am I on tonight? Beef stew and potato, something to eat meal, and I'm going to have a pudding tonight as well. So I've got a little decathlon, a raspberry crumble, so that's going to be tea tonight. So okay, I shall see you all tomorrow for day 10. Ooh, double figures of the Cape Wrath Trail. See you tomorrow.
Well, good morning. All packed up, ready to go. Really good night's sleep last night. Nice level pitch, so managed to get a good few hours. Ended up cracking the hand warmer open, and that warmed me up a little bit inside the sleeping bag. We were joined by Graham last night. He's the Scottish guy I kept mentioning, and somebody else was pitched over the other side. They came a bit later on as well. So we got 12 miles today to Ullapool. We're going to hike up out of this glen in a minute once Darren's got the Garmin going, and make our way to the telephone box where we ring for a taxi that will take us into Ullapool. And apparently in Ullapool they've got the freshest haddock going in the restaurant, so yeah, that's definitely something we'll be trying later on. Right, welcome to day 10 of the Cape Wrath Trail. So that's where we camp down there. I have seen people camping in these trees here. And then I don't know if you can make the 4x4 track out. That's the one that continues to Shenavall bothy. There is a house here. Just an old house that's boarded up. That's not the bothy's a lot further on. But yeah, what a stunning glen. Just one last look before we leave. You won't be able to pick him out, but I can see Graham's just dropped his tent, getting ready to go. Right, keep going up. Couple of mountain goats there. Get the size of the horns on them. Quite happily munching on the grass this morning. Don't seem to be bothered by us. And just in the distance there, I don't think the camera will pick them out, it's a load of deer that are looking over, they've seen us. Right, onward. So we've just topped out up there, just making our way down. And a good reference point if you've been to the Lake District or you're from that way, that reminds me of Great Gable, Green Gable next to it. I've seen that on other people's videos. And there's a big tarn over there as well. But yeah, that does remind me of Great Gable in the Lake District. Right, we're going to follow this track all the way down, cross the road and then back up again, but nowhere near as high. Over that, get down to another road and then call for a taxi. It's going well this morning. No rain, which is what it's forecast to do. Just dull and grey, which is what it is. Yeah, another cool day on the Cape Wrath Trail. Back into civilization briefly. Back on a tarmac road. Cars. We're going to follow this road for a bit and then turn right and then go back up again. But before we do that, we're going to have something to eat. I think we've just gone over 4 miles since leaving camp this morning. It's not too bad. The sun's trying to come out. So yeah, keep going.
Yeah, and people parking.
Just stopped for a quick break. Darren's having a breakfast. And just as we got here, the bin men came to empty these bins. So they kindly took our rubbish off us. We only had a couple of small bags. Right. I think we'll have 5 or 10 more minutes here. And then we're heading up this track here, behind the bins. And then a bit of a climb up. Over the top, and then down a very steep climb. Well, climb down to our taxi. Well, that was a steep climb up from the road. Whew, quite muddy as well. I think it's levelling out a bit now. That's where we're heading. That way. Get a view behind me. Still bits of snow. Right, I think we've got about 6 miles to go now. Catching some people up here. They've got to be on Cape Wrath. Well, I'm guessing they are. They are doing Cape Wrath, but they've no schedule. They're just taking the time, enjoying it, staying in B&Bs and having several rest days and that in between. So good luck to them. Right, we're still going that way. It's very green round here, a lot less rocky. Still amazing though. One last look at the mountains. That's the way we've come today. We're now finally starting our steep descent down, following the path in these curves. It'd be nice to get out this wind. I think we've got about 3 miles to go now, that's all. So down there, don't think the camera will be able to see it, but there's a lay-by and a phone box. I can just make it out, and that's where we're going to head to and call the taxi that's going to take us to Ullapool. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, there's a white van in the distance that's passing the lay-by now, and then I'm guessing it's that way, taxi to Ullapool. Right, let's make our way down. So up there is where we've descended from, round the back of this one, and then all the way down onto this path. That was steep. Could have been worse though. We could have had to have gone up it. Right, bit of road walking, get on the main road and phone a friend, or in our case a taxi, to Ullapool. Oh no, no phone. Now we're going to make the call. Right, let's hope we get a signal.
Hello, taxi.
Hello, we're walking the Cape Wrath Trail and we're at the phone.
Yeah.
We're at the phone box where the lay-by is.
Yeah.
Can we have a taxi to Ullapool, please?
No problem. How many people?
2 very weathered Englishmen.
Oh, we don't mind if you're English.
Oh, that's great.
We accept all. No, that's fine. Some to be out in about 10-15 minutes.
That's excellent. Thank you so much.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye, bye, bye. Taxi to Ullapool.
It's the wind, it's the breeze. Yeah.
Where are you from yourselves?
Sorry?
Where are you from yourselves?
I'm from...
How's your fish and chips?
Expensive, that's what it is.
Okay, so we're all pitched up in Ullapool on the campsite. It's quite a nice site. It's quite a big site. Lots of camper vans and stuff here. Give you a quick look around. Kind of a nice sea view. 16 £16 it was per person. We've been and had a shower, been and had another shave. Don't judge me. Yeah, really nice sort of campsite that you'd expect. We've been into Ullapool. We went and had our fish and chips, which was really nice. We've been into a Tesco, got a few random bits, yoghurt, some squishies, and there's also an outdoor shop here as well, so we both picked up a small can of gas. That should see us through now till the end. The outdoor shop sold everything from boots, socks, tent pegs, everything that you'd expect to find in an outdoor shop. And then we just had a wander around Ullapool. We wanted to get here quite early because we're not having a rest day on this trip, so we wanted to get here as early as we could, and then have this afternoon as our sort of rest day, if you will. So we've come back to the campsite. We've got a wash going at the moment because there's laundry facilities here as well. So as soon as that's finished, we're going to go back into town, have a beer, I think, treat ourselves to a couple of beers, and then we'll come back and get back in the sleeping bags and stuff. So it was a fairly short day today, which is how we planned it. Stats wise, we've done 11.33 miles, so the shortest day in mileage, but we've still done 2,667 feet of ascent. You left camp this morning and you went straight up and over the top, down along the road, and then you go up and over again, down along the road, and then you get to the phone box, and that's when you phone for the taxi. The main road where the phone box is, you walk along it for just less than half a mile. You cross over a bridge, I'll show you on the map in a second. You cross over a bridge, you walk up the road, and then the phone box is there. There's no phone in the phone box, but obviously you get a signal, so just use your mobile. Taxi took about 20 minutes, 30 minutes to arrive. But that road that you're walking along, that main road, it's the main road from Ullapool to Inverness, and the cars were whizzing past us. From the phone box to here is 10 miles, and there's no way you could walk it. It'd be very, very risky. The cars were literally like a foot from us, coming past at quite high speed. So yeah, the best thing to do is get a taxi into Ullapool, which is what the guidebook tells you to do. So we'll do some map time, and then we're going to get our laundry sorted, and we're going to go back into Ullapool and have a couple of beers, I think, and then get back in the sleeping bags. So right, let's do some map time. Right, okay, map time. Using a squishy as a marker tonight. So this is where we camped last night. We camped where it says 121 there. You can see some light green, and that's where the trees were. But we camped on the junction, and where we camped here we could see the path going up, so it was a nice easy start this morning. As I said last night, you keep going for about 2.5 miles, 3 mile, you carry on, you end up at Shenavall bothy, which is there. This morning when we left, we got to about here, a bit of elevation, and if you look across, you could actually see the bothy right in the distance there. If you do go to the bothy, it's sort of 2.5, 3 mile, like I say, but then in the morning you've got to come back on yourself this way, and it's roughly the same sort of distance, so it does add on 5 or 6 miles. We were going to go there if the weather was bad, but we had decent weather, so we camped where we camped. So this morning we followed it up, quite a steep climb, but not too bad. Kept on going all the way up. Followed it up, and then you go past this big lock, which is on your right. We got to about here, and that's where I did a bit to camera commenting on this one here that looks like Great Gable if you live in the north of England in the Lake District. And you descend down 4x4 track, really easy walking, and keep going all the way down, and that's where you come out onto the main road. Or it's not a, it's kind of like a B road. You then follow that road down, and then you turn right, and that's where we stopped for a little bit, and that's where the wheelie bins were, and the bin men came to empty them, and they kindly let us chuck our bits of rubbish in their bin. So we left there. This bit is really steep and muddy. I actually wrote on the map steep. Really steep muddy path, and you follow it all the way along, and then you keep going up, across a little bit of a ravine there, and you just keep going. It's quite a well-defined path. And then you just keep following it all the way along. This bit does go on for quite a long time. We seem to be on this section for quite ages, ages and ages. It's quite a few miles, this bit, and this section is what took us like the longest part of today. You pass a few big locks either side of you, and then eventually you get to sort of here, and that's where you can look down and you can actually see the lay-by and very faintly make out the phone box. And then you just take your time coming all the way down, dropping height all the time, but it is really steep. And then eventually you come along here, you get onto a bit of a tarmac driveway road sort of section, and that's where you turn left over the bridge, and that's where you get onto the main road, and the cars are whizzing past you really fast. So you just got to go be careful on that section and make sure that you are off the road. And then from here to there, where the phone box is, was about half a mile. So we got to the phone box. Like I said, there's no phone in it, it's quite an old phone. And we ran for a taxi, and they knew exactly where we were and what to do. So they came and picked us up 20-30 minutes, like I say. It was £20 for the two of us, put our rucksacks in the boot and everything, and we were here within about 15 minutes and got sorted. So we've had quite a nice chilled out afternoon today. So like I say, we're going to get our laundry sorted. Oh, it's got me foot stuck in my sleeping bag. Get our laundry sorted and go back into town and have a few well-deserved beers, I think. So right, I shall see you all tomorrow for day 11 of the Cape Wrath Trail. See you tomorrow.